stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome the faculty, administrators, parents, relatives, friends, and fellow students to the graduation of the Beverly Hills High School class of 1984. Four years ago, my fellow students and I entered Beverly Hills High School. We were freshmen. We were younger then, and at that time, trying to establish our foundations. As we progressed through the years, our experiences became more numerous and our base of knowledge broadened. In our sophomore year, we were more settled and more familiar with our school. We were able to become more involved and branch out into our own directions. As juniors, we took tests preparing us for college and for what was to come after high school. Now, as graduating seniors, we are not finished, but are just beginning. This reminds me of two young students who graduated from high school 25 years ago and went on to college. They were both very much alike, both personable and ambitious and having dreams of the future. Both had gone to work for the same manufacturing company and were still there. But there was a difference. One of the men was a manager of a small department of that company, and the other was its president. Have you ever wondered, as I have, what makes the difference in people's lives? It isn't always talent or dedication. It isn't that one person wants to succeed more. The difference lies in determination and knowledge and how one uses them. There's no limit to the goals we can attain, the successes we can achieve. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. As we look forward with anticipation to meeting special challenges each day, we take pride in today's accomplishments, for they lead to tomorrow's successes. We have every reason to be proud of what we have done, the goals we have achieved, the successes we have won. We have every reason to pursue the goals we have set with a feeling of assurance that they can and will be met. There is nothing beyond the reach of determination. Success is not measured by heights attained, but by obstacles overcome. Graduation is a time of new beginnings and treasured memories. As we leave high school behind, we remember that there's a world of new horizons ahead. Today, as we turn from the past, we have learned the pride of accomplishment. And tomorrow, as we turn toward the future, we learn the joy of success. Tomorrow is waiting for dreams to be dreamed, goals to be reached. Tomorrow is waiting to be ours. Thank you.
Come on through. Great.
It is once again graduation. 4 years ago, I stood to address my 8th grade class, and I spoke of dreams. With the making of a wish, dreams and reality became one in my eyes. As I spoke that day on the future and on reflections of the year, I felt I spoke for everyone. I thought that my dreams and reflections could be representative of the 150 people in my class, but I was wrong. Now, as I reflect on 1984 and the preceding years of high school, I realize that not one of us has had the same high school experience. Just as our dreams and expectations for the future are unique, so are our reflections on the past. Among us, there are those for whom high school will be remembered as the good old days. There are those who will perceive it as the most painful period of their lives. In truth, it was a collection of feelings and responses. Some weeks we were euphoric, others lonely. There is a part of me that hopes we won't edit out the pain or struggle of high school to create a gleaming memory of 4 perfect years. It is the reflections on the struggles as well as the joys that will shape our coming dreams. In 8th grade, my dreams and reality always seemed to coincide. But with each year of high school, my dreams changed until they could no longer be imagined as tomorrow's reality, but only as life's possibilities. As my dreams changed, graduation became a checkpoint in the series of transitions that comprise my life. I no longer see this day as the period at the end of a sentence. It is only a comma. Interestingly, the 80s have been labeled the decade of transition by sociologists and journalists all over the world. John Nesbitt, author of Megatrends, characterizes this transition as a shift from an industrial society to an information society, from a national economy to a world economy, from short-term planning to long-term planning. Essentially, he says, we are living in a time of parentheses, a time between eras. It seems particularly fitting that we, the graduates, are at a similar transitional period in our personal lives. Perhaps we feel it even more keenly because of the constant change around us. This year, we felt the momentum quicken as we face choices, decisions, and a whole new world opening before us. The challenge of this year was to recognize the need to set a new pace in our lives. It will be the challenge of the second half of the 80s to use our reflections of 1984 as a reminder of what our dreams were and what we expect ourselves to become. In my 8th grade graduation speech, I quoted the great dancer Agnes DeMille. She said, "The universe lies before you, on the floor, in the air, and in your mind. From this voyage, no one returns poor or weary." I took that statement quite literally then. It was the idea of a universe filled with opportunity and discovery that enchanted me. In my mind's eye, I saw that universe close at hand. I still look upon the universe with wonder. But what touches me more deeply now is that whether or not one makes the voyage at all is a continuing and conscious choice. For me, what came with high school was the realization that what life offers us is only a series of possibilities. We are never assured of a smooth road beneath our feet. Yet if we choose to invest in ourselves and invest in each other, the world expands with every day we live. 1984. It is unlike 1974 or 1964, yet it is in some ways the same. We look back and we look ahead as have all other graduating classes before us. And you will ask us, are you glad to be finished? We will answer, we are ready to begin.
The other day, I sat down to flip through my old yearbooks. Not really to look at the pictures or anything, except maybe to laugh at how young we all once looked, but to read the swirling messages scrawled in vivid pen and ink across the pages,
messages hastily written after some horrifying trig final, or thoughtfully scribbled in the middle of some greasy French fry lunch. From one year to the next, the message writers had changed a bit. But the messages themselves, well, there was always the obligatory, "You're sweet, don't change a bit," and the ever-popular, "I can't believe the year's over," and "Have a great summer." There were usually some that said, "I'm so glad we got to be such great friends this year," and others that said, "I wish we had seen more of each other this year," and the ones from the teachers that were always signed, fondly, Mrs. So-and-so. Actually, I guess what's important about the messages isn't really what they say so much as the fact that they capture a portion of their writers forever. And those writers were the people 1, 2, or 3 years ago who were important to me. On a day like today, our memories unfold like the pages of an annual. For today we stand apart from the maddening rush of day-to-day life and allow the quiet of our minds to fill with enough mental photographs and notes to fill hundreds of yearbooks. There is the image of the three of us collapsing in the cafeteria with our sweet rolls after that horrendous Macbeth exam, or that first day of freshman year when our teacher turned to us and said, "We are waiting for a man-made thing called time." I think that at that point about half the class was ready to switch back to Beverly Vista. Oh, and there's that assignment which we told the substitute we would turn into the teacher, and we told the teacher we had turned into the substitute and never really turned in at all. Somehow we got an A. Doubtless, the images I see are unique to me, a portfolio all my own. But although we may all see different images and conjure up distinct visions, the reason why our memories hold what they do is the same. For at the heart of each experience, there are people. People who shaped us and influenced us. People whose names appear in the margins of our annuals. These are the people whom our minds latch onto to remember. People whose sense of humor made detention seem almost, not quite, but almost enjoyable. People whose laughter at a volcanic eruption turned a serious science film into a comic scenario. People whose own enthusiasm for Louis XIV brought him to life in our classrooms. As we walk out these doors and down the lawn for the last time as students, we take with us not so much facts and formulas, but those people and the everlasting impressions they have left upon us. The messages in the yearbook may be hokey or corny, but the names and faces of those people are not. They are the forces that to a large extent created us. By challenging our minds with ideas, those people made life fascinating and exciting. They caused us to grow. They are the basis from which our lives are formed. Today, we sign our last high school yearbooks. We close our last annuals. There is time now for only one last sentiment, indelibly entered into the volumes of our memories. One last person to influence. In the years to come, this day and the torrent of experience leading up to it will appear bleared in a mist of time. What will stand out, though, will be the people. Our counselor smilingly handing us our diploma and sending us off. The fellow standing next to us when we all threw our caps into the air. And then we will say, as we flip through our dusty yearbooks, that those people created these years for us, shaped them, and molded them. They altered our lives and the people we are. They fill the annuals of our minds. Thank you.
First, I'd like to congratulate Saul Friedman, one of our graduates who wrote that last number especially for this graduation exercise. As principal, I have the honor to present our platform guests. However, before I do that, I want to pay a special tribute to the staff members of our school who are interspersed in the audience. Beverly Hills High School is considered an outstanding school because of their special efforts and exemplary contributions. On behalf of the entire school community, I would like to thank them for making all of this possible. Please join me in applauding them. Seated in their colorful robes are our department chairpersons, counselors, class sponsors, and administrators who have been privileged to work with this graduating class. Would you join me in recognizing their special contributions to our school as they stand as a group? Seated on the platform are the members of our Board of Education and Superintendent, who in these difficult times provide the leadership required to maintain the quality of our educational program. Week after week, I have seen their commitment, dedication, and tireless efforts on behalf of our school district. Please hold your applause until I've read all of the names. Mr. Jerry Weinstein, President, Mr. Fred Stern, Vice President, Mr. Frank Fenton, Mr. Mark Eggerman, Mrs. Betty Wilson, and Dr. Leon Lessinger, Superintendent of Schools. Before we continue, I want to depart from our program just for a moment in order to acknowledge a very special man. Today we are reluctantly bidding farewell to a member of our staff who has given 20 years of service to our foreign language department. Would you join me in acknowledging Dr. Jacques Poletti? This is the 15th graduation I've conducted involving well over 10,000 students. Each and every graduation is as though it were the first. Some years ago, the late Adlai Stevenson, when asked how he felt after losing the presidential election, said, "I feel like a little boy who stubbed his toe in the dark. I don't know whether to laugh or cry." I am certain that that sense of mixed emotions is present in abundance today, particularly as we watch the processional with all of its color, splendor, and pageantry. In many ways, this is a bittersweet moment. Sweet because of the joy of accomplishment, the anticipation of things to come, the friends we have made. Bitter because it is a time to say goodbye, to leave our secure port, and to move on to other plateaus. This is, in fact, the last time the class of '84 will assemble under one roof. Yet there is an excitement and intensity associated with this very special day. There are new roads to be traveled, while unknown vistas beckon. Surely the path ahead is filled with promise, challenges, and uncertainties. The future for each of you, our graduates, is a huge unfinished tapestry. What is woven into that tapestry is in your hands. The tone, the intensity, the brilliance of your efforts will be determined by your skills, the breadth of your creativity, and your willingness to commit yourselves to your task. It would be well to remember that we are all artists working on our personal canvas. We are in control of our lives. This class, over 1,600 strong, is well equipped to meet the challenges and the promises of the future. They have the ability to create a canvas worthy of the masters. They have earned distinction in every field of endeavor. Their achievements rival those of any secondary school in this country. They are and have been Beverly's pride and joy. To our graduates and their parents, I congratulate you and wish you happiness, health, and fulfillment. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire staff of this high school, I present to you the graduating class of 1984. I assure you, after that bit of exuberance and spirit, they are very, very happy to be here. Mr. Weinstein, you are the representative of the governing board of this school district. The members of the class have fulfilled the requirements as prescribed by the state of California and the Board of Education, and I recommend that they be granted diplomas of graduation.
Youth is a time of rapid changes. Between the ages of 13 and 18, a parent can age 30 years. But no more gray hairs today. Graduates, parents, relatives, and friends, be joyful and hopeful. It is a cliche of our time that this country needs an informed citizenry. That is, a citizenry up on the latest information, that has read today's headlines and has watched the network evening news. But I submit to you graduates a more responsible goal, namely joining the ranks of a knowledgeable citizenry. Information, like entertainment, is something others provide us. It is a service. We expect to be entertained and also to be informed, but we cannot be knowledged. We must all acquire knowledge for ourselves. And knowledge comes from a free mind, foraging in the rich pastures of the past and the whole everywhere. It comes from finding order and meaning in the entire human experience. And the farther backward you can look, the farther forward you are likely to see. So, I charge you graduates with a lifetime purpose of knowledging yourselves, as well as a goal of excellence in whatever tasks you undertake. Upon such purposes rest the continued peace and civilized success of this country. Congratulations and good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Weinstein. We will now have the roll call of our graduates by our counseling staff. Awarding the diplomas will be Mr. Weinstein and Mr. Fred Stern.
It is with a great deal of warmth, pleasure, and pride that we call this special roll for the class of 1984. Mark Turner Lucas.
Daniel Todd Appel.
Veronique Veronique D. Lantier.
Rafi Abrashami,
Ronit Kashanian.
Jennifer Lynn Abelson,
Brett Ryan Lonkar.
Andrew Maury Edelman,
Ellison Miller.
Stacy Yvette Adams,
Dean Stewart Maltzman.
Jeffrey Michael Adler,
John Manley.
Miriam Adeli,
Sharon Beth Kaufman.
Mustafa Abdulmonam Afifi,
Ross Aaron Mark.
Elizabeth Audrey Ayash,
Andrea Ellen Kane.
Joseph Richmond
Andrew.
C. Agatep,
Mark Moreau Maxwell.
Eden Rue Alpert,
Katyun Kathy Khalili.
Robert Neil Alpert,
Andrew Mazur.
Lisa Beth Applebaum,
Giti Koshnevis.
John Pardee Amato,
Calvin Ethan McShann.
Lisa Arakalian,
Alyssa Coton.
Jacqueline Aronson,
Russell Alex Mizell.
Farzad M. Arustazad,
Sigel Rose Kletsky.
Evangeline Gomez Areglo,
Greg Lawrence Michelle.
Kambiz Banayan,
Herschel Mikhail.
Emperor Arye,
Anthony Paul Miller.
Raman Baradaran Rahimi,
Tammy Carley.
Shireen Helia Ariel,
David Paul Miller.
Dean H. Barnes,
Sandra Ann Kreshik.
Julie Cheryl Bach,
George Menardos.
Richard Allen Berry,
Liliana Lowry.
Fariba Bakshian,
Thomas Michael Rutigliano.
Robert Michael Bauer,
Margot Elizabeth Preck.
David Cohan,
Sean Sager.
Stuart Charles Heater,
John Martin Ryan.
Neil Allen Gold,
Mark Lerman.
Dinio Anrubia,
Arlene Marie Liao.
Mark C. Bayert,
Payman Mokarabi.
Catherine Azizada,
Gabriela Marina Miller.
Mark James Beckman,
Jonathan Scott Platt.
Allison Eloise Barton,
Craig Andrew Pincus.
Jane Louise Balch,
Mary Suzanne Loomis.
Ohad Menashe Ben Yehuda,
Sang Woo Park.
Andre Vicky Baum,
Kimberly Ann Lodge.
Brian Adam Bender,
John Stanton Orloff Jr.
Kathy Linda Bezoyan,
Tamar Lipkin.
Mark Berman,
Peter Isaac Oppenheim.
Natalie Nicole Bell,
Renee Esther Leiker.
Robert Eli Beerer,
Tiffany Levine.
Kendra R. Bellsberg,
Eric Reza Nouri.
Randall Brian Bishop,
Isaac Mizrahi.
Caitlin Benson,
Lauren Rachel Levine.
Adele Hilal Basada,
Joaquin Soraya Palacios.
Julie Sue Berkowitz,
Edward Mizrahi.
Mitchell J. Block,
Deborah Charisse Lerner.
Elizabeth Corinne Bernstein,
Richard Anthony Mirish.
Charles Edward Block,
Courtney Noel Lemon.
Ingrid Kristen Bingley,
Maurice Hilliard Minnis.
Michael David Boxenbaum,
Rachel Amanda Lawson.
Tracy Lynn Bernkrant,
Lawrence Lazar.
Nama Barak,
Armando U. Romero.
Deneen Alexandra Coster,
Sharon Deborah Markman.
Brian Drew Gertz,
Deborah Ann Litton.
Gregory Benjamin Bell,
Roy Navon.
Brooke Ann Bolenbacher,
Isaac R. Nalid.
David Frederick Gallowitz,
Fitz Gilbert Mora.
Natalie Amanda Boot,
Abdi Moravati,
Deborah Malaya Bramson,
Nancy Mills,
Ari Bussell,
Joshua Carroll Muskov,
Kristen Elizabeth Brodick,
Mark Taraaki Munikata,
Eric Douglas Kagan,
Limor Mintz,
Tatiana Brower,
Jacqueline Francisco Makasanek,
Alan Calzati,
Chester Kirk Naylor,
Denise Jan Brown,
Claudie Masonok,
David Keith Cantrell,
Edmund Nemani,
Michelle Ida Burston,
David Newhoff,
Ryan John Cassidy,
Iris Malka,
Anita Chaman,
Jillian Marcus,
Joseph Patrick Chandler,
Sam Parsi,
Mary Yan Chan,
David C. Pass,
Ping Wu Chen,
Stuart J. Parr,
Stephanie Shou Zhu Chang,
Michelle Renee Mann,
Mark Manning Chodos,
Andre M. Petit,